prose.
Prose.
So pros.
Pros. Do the drama category.
Drama.
Doing drama.
For impromptu.
Impromptu.
Duo drama.
6-10.
Radio.
Performance poetry.
Give me the first 5 words that come into your mind when I say speech.
Fan, ducking, tastic, and great.
Well, energetic. Sometimes it can be provoking. Personal. Freestyle. Intuitive. Strategic.
Improv. Humor. Words. Friendship. And love.
Performance. Acting. Emotion. Memorization. And energy.
Expression. Dedication.
Love.
Empowerment. Social issues.
Duo drama.
Teamwork. Fun.
Yeah. Exciting.
Competition. Experiences.
What's your favorite and least favorite part of speech?
Ooh, I don't have a least favorite word. Speech is amazing.
The best part about impromptu is the people that you meet, because the other impromptu speakers are the nicest and funniest people you can ever be friends with. And the worst part of impromptu, I have to say, when you're talking and you accidentally forget to talk and think at the same time, so then when you're done with what you've figured out what to talk, you just blank out and stop talking for a while.
The favorite part of speech, in many of the categories, you end up creating this like small sort of community within the people that go to all the tournaments that are in that category. Like last year, everyone who was in duo drama was basically best friends with each other. It was great. Least favorite part of speech, anytime there's an awkward silence, whatever.
I think my favorite part would definitely be being able to choose what we want to talk about or to perform for the judges, because there's so many different categories. You can really find something that really works for you. And I think, like Harry said, there isn't really much to not like about speech. I mean, it's really flexible. You can do what you want. You can memorize stuff. You don't have to memorize stuff. It's really great.
I think on a more serious note, speech is nice because there's always a place for you to fit in somehow.
Yeah.
My favorite part of speech is meeting people. Like, I've met so many people over the years, and the reason I have my best friend is because of speech. We did duo drama together my first year, and we're best friends. It's really great.
Could you explain your event briefly?
So what we do in prose is you pick an excerpt from either like a book or just any piece of literature and you read it, and it has to be between 3 to 5 minutes. You don't have to memorize it, and you read it and you get to add emotion and characterization, and it's a lot of fun.
I do prose, so I pick a piece from a published author, about 3 to 5 minutes long, and I read it for the judge with emotion, and it takes a lot of practice.
So what you do in drama is you need to memorize a 5 to 8 minute piece. It can honestly be anything. It has to be published though, and then you just present it in front of a judge in a room and give it your all.
So I do the drama category, and so it's a memorized piece from 4 to 8 minutes long that's very much acted and has a storyline usually.
Drama is basically you get to act out a monologue, piece of role play, or really just someone who wrote a drama who used to be in forensics. And you just act it out dramatically because it's called drama. And yeah.
Okay, so poetry is like you can read it from a paper, and it's 3 to 5 minutes that you have to say it, and you don't have to act. But then for poetry, you have to like act and make hand gestures and stuff, and you have 3 to 8 minutes, and you can't read it off the paper. You have to have it memorized.
Briefly.
Radio is where you get a newspaper and you have 30 minutes and you make some stuff up, and it's.
So what happens is you get to pick 3 topics out of a manila folder usually, and you have about 10 seconds to choose one of these topics, and then you have 30 minutes to become an expert on it, create some sort of 5 to 7 minute speech, and then you have to go give the 5 to 7 minute speech to a judge. And This speech, you can only use a note card to remember what you've said.
Impromptu is where you have nothing prepared beforehand and you just go in, you have to blindly grab 3 topics from a bag, and then you choose the one of the 3 that you want, and you have 1 minute to prepare a 2 to 3 minute long speech.
Briefly. Okay.
So, duodrama is basically where you have an 8 to 10 minute dramatic piece that you do with a partner. And you can't look at each other, you can't touch each other, you can't really move around a bunch.
Right, but at the same time, you still get to act out. You can assume stances, you can express using your voice, and so then you compete against other duo teams, and yeah.
What events do you each do?
I do performance poetry, and actually this tournament was the first tournament that I tried prose.
I used to do duodrama all the time, which is when 2 people stand next to each other, can't look at each other, and have to act out a play, which is really fun. I did Monty Python last year, but this year I've been doing prose, which is reading a piece of published writing. I did Winston Churchill. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Why are you captains for speech?
It's a fun team to be on. You get to learn stuff, hear about all the issues in that, and it's really nice to get trophies and free food every weekend.
And it's also just really nice to be a leader of all the great people on the speech team. I think Harry and I both have different aspects of being captain, so he does a lot of the reminders and stuff like that. And I do a lot of like the personal stuff in the meetings. So it's just a lot of fun to be able to lead a group like that. That's so great as our speech team.
I love the speech team.
Okay, give me the first 5 words that come to mind when I say debate.
Caffeine, confidence, and logic.
As well as research and arguments.
Could you explain debate briefly?
So debate is essentially you're given one topic each month, and then you and a partner are required to go into a room and debate against another opponent as to why your side is correct.
You prep a speech for the debate.
Cool. What would you say to people who are thinking about joining?
It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of opportunities, as well as you can improve your speaking, and it's good for college.
Well, we usually have a lot more fun, and so we have like just a lot more fun on our practices, and it's also a lot more of a diverse thing. Like you can see someone talking about like how they hate themselves, and then hear someone read about Gandalf within a span of 15 minutes. So that's really fun. And then in speech, you can just scream at yourself, and it's a good way to let out anger.
Then speech.
Because you actually get to have a conversation, and you get to have someone agree with your points, instead of just having a one-sided conversation.
I think that it's really hard to choose a favorite between the two.
I think I know the right answer.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say speech before.
I think that they're just both different. I like debate because it has more of a structure and you're able to really argue with other people, which is something that I really like. But with speech, you're able to really have something that's more personal for you, and it's a little bit less stressful with less preparation.
Speaking from the heart rather than trying to make someone cry.
Oh, I mean, in both you can make people cry.
Yeah, but it's nice when they cry, like, oh, that's such a sweet speech, or like, wow, you ruined my whole day.
Personally, I like speech more because it, I don't know, it's more personal because you can talk about things that are really important to you, but then also debate is great because it's more structured and it's a great time to really show off your knowledge and talk about important things and really fight for what you believe in.
Do you think speech and debate helped you, and in what way?
Speech and debate definitely helped me. If you're going to be going to college, I mean, really just speech in general is a life skill, and people really value having the ability to speak well. So that's just something that will help you throughout life.
What's your favorite part of judging?
I was surprised at how, I guess, engaged I became in the topic itself, and how much I learned from the way that the argument went and kind of tracking the arguments. I really enjoyed that.
Younger generations are doing with public speaking because it changes every single year, and so it was just cool. I've seen basically 3 generations of people come through and have their own.
I liked writing the comments at the end because you don't get to say anything to the kids.
Yes.
It's all written.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm explaining what it is that I thought they did well and what they didn't do well, and why what they didn't do well didn't help their position.
Cool. Why do you judge?
I think that this experience of getting the experience of debate or speech in high school is such a fantastic learning experience. And in order to do that, you need to be able to have judges who'll give really helpful feedback. And so it's an opportunity to see students grow.
Yeah, it was a difficult exercise, a difficult intellectual exercise, because you need to not be thinking, well, what's my opinion about the subject? It's who gave the best arguments and supported them the best, and a little bit who's the best speaker, but we were told that's not even the most important part. It's really what evidence they present. Did they refute the other side's evidence, which often didn't happen because they were mostly concerned with their points that they were trying to make. But yes, I would definitely recommend it.
Would you recommend this experience to others?
Yes. So a bunch of the judges were sitting around beforehand, and some of them came from the community. So they didn't even come from within the school at all. And so we had some great conversations, like back of the house in terms of the judges. And I was thinking about how it's a great way to be able to bring people outside the community into the school. So I would definitely recommend it to others.
Do it.
Okay. It is a great opportunity to kind of speak your mind and put forward something that you've been working on for a really hard time, to both kind of like show off your speaking skills, but also talk about topics that are very important and also meaningful to yourself.
I would say definitely join. The thing about speech is you have literally no idea you like it until you try it.
I would say it's really fun and you definitely should do it. There are a bunch of different things you can go into. It's not just extemp, there's debate, there's duo drama, there's so many things you can do.
Okay, thank you.
Speech is a great way to meet new people and to build confidence in yourself in public speaking.
Do it. Do it. It's so much fun and you get to meet so many new people and it's a great experience and you don't even have to win anything to love it. I remember my freshman year at the beginning, we were so bad. My duo drum friend and I were so bad and we didn't win anything, but in the end we actually won states. But even though we didn't win anything at first, we kept going because it was just so fun and it's just a wonderful experience.
I would say that it's a really great opportunity. It's a really good experience and help you prepare to speak in any audience.
Absolutely do it.
Yeah, totally. It's a lot of fun.
So great.
You learn a lot. You meet a lot of new people.
You get to do a ton of really fun things, go to a lot of new places.
Right. And I would also say that a lot of colleges like to see it. So it's good in that situation as well.
Really good on applications.
And the more you compete, the better you get, and then you can go to things like districts. Like last year, Olivia and I went to districts.
Definitely know what event you're gonna do because there's a lot of different events and it can be confusing.
I think practice is more important than people give it its reputation for. Like, I think practice is super important to be able to think and to, you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people are hesitant at first. I know a lot of my friends who I got to join speech didn't want to do it, but by the time they ended up graduating, they said that it was one of the best choices they made. So.
And in first place, on pain of death, South Burlington High School.